guys, welcome to Pretty Girl Loves Trap content. This is my recap/review for Bel-Air, okay? And this is season 1, episode 4, called Canvas. Now, this was another great episode. I am definitely enjoying this series, so I am hoping they keep up the great work with the future episodes, okay? So, we start off with Carlton and Phil. They are playing a chess game, and I love to see that they're actually getting some quality time in, because it seems as though Carlton was getting jealous of the time that Will and Uncle Phil was having. So I am definitely happy to see Uncle Phil is balancing his time. So they discussed that Uncle Phil has a fundraiser coming up. And Carlton, of course, his old scheming behind, he pretty much proposes a deal to Uncle Phil that if he were to get 50 voters to register, well, people to register to vote, I should say, that he will get VIP tickets to Monaco. And, you know, Uncle Phil agrees. And, of course, a part of that deal is that him and Will are, you know, getting along during this whole process. So we'll see how this works out. And I got to give it up. Like, the musical score, like, I am feeling it, okay? The music always had me wanting to crip walk, Millie Rock, smurder dance. Like, I really enjoy the music. I need to actually look up who is a part and who is in charge of the score. I can't do the smurder dance as good as Carlton over there, okay? Because he killed it, all right? He did his thing, okay? So it's definitely a far cry from the original Carlton and dancing to Tom Jones. So next scene, we see Will and Lisa. They're in the parking lot, and they're, you know, exchanging words and getting to know each other a little better. And Lisa, you know, shares with Will that her mom died of lupus. And, you know, Will, he invited Lisa to his uncle's fundraiser, which is going to be, you know, skating. So I'm like, okay, that's a cute idea. But y'all, across the parking lot, we see a mystery man in a car, okay? And he is scoping Will out. And he proceeds to follow Will when he pulls off. And I'm like, Rashad, is that you? Did you go to Avis or, you know, Enterprise and rented a car? Because I'm just saying, like, I'm stressed out, okay? So we see Will, he's at home, and he's on the phone with his homeboy, Trey. And Trey pretty much said, like, hey, Rashad knows that you are in Bel-Air, okay? So he is out for you, and he is still out for me, and we need to figure this out. Like, this is stressful, and we always seeing Trey smoking weed, rolling up weed. Like, he has a problem. Like, is this something he just started because of all the drama? Like, was he always a weed head? Like, what's going on? I do kind of foresee them getting into that when a little later. I'll get into a little prediction that I have. So Will, he is looking for his uncle, okay, because he is stressed out, okay, and he's not in his office. So Jeffrey, you know, is there, and he's asking Jeffrey, like, hey, do you know why I'm here? So of course Jeffrey, you know, he knows everything. He's knowing all, seeing all. Like, he's damn near Jesus at this point, okay? And he's like, yeah, I know why you're here. He laid down the entire scenario, and he was like, hey, don't worry, your uncle and your aunt, okay? I'll undo the situation. That was horrible. A horrible Jeffrey impression. But yeah, he told Will, you don't have to worry. Shout out to Mary J. Blige. But yeah, so Will was like, what you talking about? I don't have to worry. Like, he looking at Jeffrey like, you just a house manager. Like, you ain't got no pull. So yeah, what does Jeffrey have up his sleeve? So we see Hillary, she's on these Zoom calls and she's having meetings with influencers. So apparently they're some like content creator houses that she wants to be a part of. And I was like, is this a real thing or is this a thing that just made up? I always feel like, of course, life imitates art and vice versa. So it's like, Is this a true thing out there? You guys let me know if content creator houses is actually real. But it seems to be very draining for her, and it's not really going well. But I am definitely feeling Hillary's persistence. I really love like this actress. Her name is Coco Jones. I haven't been familiar with her in the past, but I really love her in this Hillary role. She is killing it. The looks, the fashions, the outfits, I really, really love it. It's similar to what Hillary, the original Hillary, would wear, but of course with a little flair and a little updating. So yeah, I am definitely loving the casting there. So we're seeing Aunt Viv. She's cleaning out her storage. She's talking with her soror, and she is trying to get back into her painting, okay? So Picasso, Michelangelo, you guys all look out. I mean, not really, because y'all deceased, rest in peace. But you know what I'm saying. She is tired of going to the painting tips, okay? She wants to be the artist, all right? And she said, I am reclaiming my time. I am woman, hear me roar. Power to the people, okay? I just mixed two causes in one. But I was feeling, real black pride is just now. I don't know why, y'all. So excuse me. So we see Will. He is stressed out about being capped, okay? So he's drowning his sorrows and playing the piano. And I was like, okay, John Legend. Like, Will got little skills, okay? So Hillary comes into the room, and she's all Debbie Downer. I'm like, Lord, y'all need to pick me up. Jesus. And she's confiding in Will, and she's saying the real world is hoard, okay? She's trying to find the apartment and the jobs, and it ain't working out, okay? Poor little Hillary. I don't know what she's going to do. She is not trying to trade in the black card for the EBT card. You hear me? Okay, like it's real struggle bus up in here for her. But I always did love the camaraderie between the original Will and Hillary. So I'm definitely starting to see that now. I just love when young adults confide in each other and able to just really be there for each other. And, that's definitely a healthy thing. So we see Will, he proposes to Aunt Viv, and he says, hey, if me and Carlton, get along in this whole, voters registration bit, can I have my homeboy Trey fly out? And, not just fly out, but like the day after tomorrow. She was like, dang, boy, like, what's going on? Is everything okay? He was like, yeah, it's fine. Of course, he's lying. He's just trying to protect Trey. But she agrees to the deal. And I do recall, I believe, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like he did have a homeboy named Ice Trey in the original series, Fresh Prince, and he was played by one of my favorite actors of all time, Don Cheadle. So yeah, I'm definitely excited, if he's kind of taking after that role, digging a little deeper, because I feel like Don Cheadle was only in one episode. But you guys recall when I mentioned that Trey smokes a lot of weed. So I kind of have like maybe a mini prediction that, Trey is going to go over there, either bring some weed or buy some weed. And he's going to get Will caught up, and his family's going to either think he's smoking weed or they're going to smoke weed together or kick Trey out for smoking weed. I feel like something's brewing or going to brew with that. So we'll see if that comes true. So we have a family meeting, and Phil is delegating the task regarding the fundraiser event. So the parents, they're going to be meeting with the community leaders. The girls will be visiting local businesses for support. And the boys will be going door to door and trying to sign up people to register to vote. So we see the boys, Will and Carlton, they are getting all of the doors slammed in their faces. People are not trying to hear anything that they are trying to sell, okay? Maybe if it was one of those good world famous candy bars, that's for $1, I definitely would buy those if somebody came to my door. Maybe not. I'll probably feel more comfortable purchasing at Walmart, because you just can't trust folk these days, okay? I'm just going to lay it out there, all right? So Carlton, he's getting frustrated. He's like, dang, these people don't even care about voting. Like, this is sad. And Will was like, stop saying these people, okay? These should be considered your people as well. We are all people of color, all right? And so they have this debate about voters and, whether people just don't want to vote because they don't care, or they don't care to vote because they do not have faith and trust in the system. And I just love how this show I love the dialogue because they are able to include, serious matters while, they are including comedy and just great dialogue amongst each other. So I definitely love the writing in this show. I have no complaints about that. So Will, he pretty much offers to lead this door-to-door situation because he has more finesse, he has more swag, and he's a little more connected to these people, okay? So, of course, begrudgingly, Carlton agrees. So we see the girls, they're visiting, the businesses, and they enter Jazz's record store. And this is a cute little insert. I really like the jazz of this series. Of course, I like DJ Jazzy Jeff, the original Jazz, but I definitely love the casting of Jazz. He just seems, just level-headed and sounded, not like a bunch of stunting shows and mischief as the original Jazz. But he's pretty much explaining to Hillary that the business is struggling. And she was like, okay, what's your social media looking like? He was like, I'm not on social media. So she proceeds to set him up with an Instagram account. And I'm like, okay, this is a light bulb, Hillary. Like, this should be, something that you should look into. So I was like, okay, I like this. Meanwhile, Ashley's old fast ass tail, she goes and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just go to the next business. And she ends up meeting up with some kid she met online that she's been gaming with. I'm like, girl, this is 2020 of the two. Like, I'm going to need you to be more careful. Oh, Lord, little Ashley, she's going to be getting in all types of drama, and I just can't, okay? So we see the parents, they're meeting with the community leaders, and this particular couple, they're, not really trying to hear too much of what Mr. Banks has going on, but they are definitely still listening. And the wife, she's looking at Viv, and she's like, you look familiar. So long story short, the wife was a teacher at a school that Vivienne drew a mural on, and the school actually closed down, which is kind of like a, metaphor, like, dang, she used to be artist, her artwork is on a school that's no longer in use. And in this conversation, Phil, he mentions that, hey, she used to be an artist. So, of course, that triggers Aunt Viv, and they have, a little discussion. So, Aunt Viv, she's definitely, eating away at her emotions at this point. And you can tell she's definitely feeling a lot of regret about the decisions she's made. But that is honestly decisions a lot of women make. She chose to support her husband and have a family. And sometimes your personal dreams go by the wayside. So I can definitely understand what she is going through. So we see Jeffrey, okay? He's meeting up with his quote-unquote contact, who was the same guy that was peeping Will out earlier in the parking lot, okay? And so, they mentioned Rashad, and long story short, they paid Rashad $10,000 to pretty much squash the beef with Will. But yeah, apparently he still was trying to gun for Will. And the contact of Jeffrey was like, okay, we need to offer a little more money. And Jeffrey was like, we don't need to do that because we do not intend on paying him more. And so the way he said it made it look like we're going to put the old fella 6 feet under. So I'm like, Jeffrey, what is going on, my boy? Like, what do you have going on? Are you a secret assassin? Like, yeah, I'm definitely hoping that they delve into Jeffrey a little more. Like, his character is really intriguing. So we see Will and Carlton, they arguing again. I'm like, oh my God. They argue all the goddamn time, but they're pretty much having a debate about blue lives versus black lives, and it turns personal as always. And I understand that Carlton is low-key like our protagonist. I'm sorry, he's our antagonist to Will, who is low-key our protagonist. But I'm hoping that they kind of get over this bickering phase. I'm kind of over it. It's been 4 episodes. I'm pretty sure it's not over, but I don't want this to last the entire season. Maybe there be another plot twist where someone else ends up being our antagonist because, y'all, I'm getting kind of over the back and forth. So we see Jeffrey, okay? He scoops up Ashley, okay? Because he sees and hears and knows everything. So he tells Ashley, like, hey, this ain't safe. You can't be doing this no more. It's going to be our little secret, but girl, you need to calm the F down. All right. So that was cute. And so we see Will, he goes into Jazz's shop, and a local rapper kind of comes in and gets advice from Jazz, and they end up taking pics on social media. And I'm like, yeah, Will, we can't be doing this, bro. Like, to your knowledge, we need to be in like low-key witness protection, okay? Like, we're on the run, kind of, but not. Like, you need to treat this as like a covert operation. You cannot be seen all over social media, all right? I thought you learned your lesson, but these kids gonna do what these kids are going to do. So Jazz offers Will some advice to make up with Carlton, so, you know, Trey can, you know, actually fly out. So he ends up doing it. So I love that Jazz is actually the sounding board for Will. So we see Will and in this montage of scenes, okay, he is doing all of the favors for the registrations, okay? He is mowing lawns. He is kissing and cuddling the puppies. Well, not kissing the puppies. We don't do that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he is definitely doing what he can to get the votes, okay? What they say, what is that saying? Do something a little strange for a little change, okay? So Will tells Carlton, like, hey, I invited the community to our fundraiser to get more votes. And yeah, Carlton was like, that ain't gonna be cool, bro, because this was supposed to be a private event, okay? Uncle is going to be pissed. And so they proceed to meet with the family. Of course, Uncle Phil is pissed. And he's like, hey, we have to refund the money that, you know, the attendees paid for. It was like $500 a plate because they no longer have the exclusivity of this event now that the community is now showing up. But that is actually a pro, not a con, because he gets to now speak to the people, because we all know he is disconnected. So y'all, we're at the fundraiser. You know, it's a skating rink. And we see Viv and Lisa, they embrace. So we do learn that Lisa's mom, you know, died of lupus. And she was actually a sorority sister of Viv. And Lisa also mentioned previously that the Banks family and her family was very close. So that's probably was the tie to, you know, bring the family together. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And Aunt Viv, she offered a girls' night. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad that she's stepping in to kind of be a motherly figure to Lisa. So we see that Jeffrey, he invites Ashley's online friends because she was bummed out about having to leave. I'm like, go ahead, Jeffrey. And actually, I got a new nickname for Jeffrey. New nickname alert, okay? His name will be The Fixer, okay? Because he seems to be fixing all of the issues up in here, okay? So we are in the bathroom and Will's coming out the stall, and we see someone in a police officer uniform out the stall as well. And yeah, Will recognizes his face and he notices it's Lisa's dad. So Lisa's dad is the popo, but not just any old popo, okay? He is the chief of the police, okay? And Will looks at the uniform and the badge. He's immediately, you know, getting flashbacks. So he's still suffering, you know, from PTSD. And I don't like this character, y'all. I don't like Lisa's dad. He always got that suspicious look. So he may actually be one of our antagonists coming up, okay? Because I am not feeling him. So Will goes to Lisa pissed. He's like, hey, why didn't you tell me your dad was the cops? And not the cops, but a cop, but the cop, okay? Because he is the chief. And she was like, well, it just never really came up. Like, I didn't think it was a big deal. And I'm like, you need to calm down. Like, you acting like you're a drug kingpin or something, Will. Like, why is it, like, really a big deal? Like, it truly never really came up. And so, I mean, this probably is stemming from his low-key, you know, growing hatred for cops. But honestly, like, if she would have told you, like, he was a cop, would you stop talking to her? I mean, you need to stop talking to her anyway because that's Carlton's ex, and there's to be some sort of guy code. But obviously, in Philly, that's not what they are doing up in there, okay? Y'all, Will, he kind of annoyed me. This was the first episode. Well, not the first. I would be lying if I said that. But yeah, this is one of the scenes I would say that he is pissing me off. So it's time for Phil's speech to the people, okay? And they're asking him the questions, and they're discussing, policies about sentencing for first-time offenders. And they're also asking about defunding the police, because that is, a solution that people are offering to kind of offset all the racial injustice, okay? And so we see front and center Lisa's dad in his cop uniform, and the scene is real awkward because obviously they are friends. But, Uncle Phil did not back down. And he says, yeah, we're going to look at defunding the police. So I was like, okay, stand your ground. Okay, so everybody's home now, just relishing in the success of the event. And Ashley gets a notification on her phone. And so, of course, Auntie, Viv/mom is, hey, what's going on? And so Hillary shares that she got accepted to the influencer house. And, okay, the mom was like, okay, well, so that means she's moving out. And so she was like, okay, well, how much is it? What is it going to cost? And Hillary was like, it's free. So, of course, Aunt Viv was like, nothing's free, which she is right in saying nothing is truly free. So I feel like Hillary is being a little naive. There's going to be some sort of cost, whether in the back end or the front end, like, don't be that naive, Hillary, okay? But, hey, she was pissed off at Aunt Viv for, quote-unquote talking too much. But she was just keeping it real, like, calm down. So Aunt Viv, she goes to Will and pretty much tells him, like, hey, I'm proud of you and Carlton making amends. So your boy Trey can come on Friday, okay? So Will goes to FaceTime Trey and tell him the good news. But he was like, hey, I got some good news for you as well. So, yeah, our boy Rashad, he's dead. He's out of here. He's gone. He's deceased. He's finitoed out of here, okay? And so he was like, yeah, I can't wait to celebrate. He's gone. And so Will asking, like, how? And, Trey said, hey, he died in the strip club. So it looks like it's possibly some street beef, okay? And so Will, he's not really basking in this news. And he seems really suspicious, like he's not happy. And I can probably understand kind of, sort of, what he may be feeling, is conflicted because, yes, we're dealing with some sort of, gun violence. But I know he wanted his issue to be resolved, but I don't think he truly wanted Rashad dead. I mean, I feel like the average person would have been like, whew, thank God it is not me, because your boy was in the jail cell, simulating a gun to the head. So, yeah, he was gunning for you, Will. So I think you need to cheer up just a little bit. Like, I'm just saying. But I think he is suspicious of Jeffrey. And I do predict that he is going to possibly follow up with this whole ordeal and probably uncover whatever Jeffrey and Uncle Phil got going on. So I'm just curious of how dark and deep they're going to get into this drama, y'all. Like, what do y'all think? What's going to happen in the future? Please like this video. Drop down in the comments. Share your thoughts on this episode and on the series thus far. But I appreciate you guys listening. And I will see you for episode 5 for Bel-Air. But if you guys watch Power, I will be, of course, uploading a video most likely for the new episode Sunday or Monday. And then we also have Snowfall that will be premiering next week. So if you guys watch Snowfall, please continue to follow your girl for those videos, okay? So you guys have a blessed one, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.